I was working at a hotel in Greece. A British guest came to the front desk at 9 in the morning, already sunburned, bright red. He said, "Your son is dangerous. Why didn't anyone warn us?" I pointed to the signs we have everywhere about sun safety. He said, "I saw those, but I didn't think it would be this bad. It's only May." I explained that Mediterranean sun is strong year-round. His wife said, "In England, we can be out all day and nothing happens. Your sun is different." I told her that's because England has less intense UV rays. She said, "Well, you should put up barriers or shade everywhere. This is a health hazard." They spent the rest of their holiday sitting inside with the curtains drawn, emerging only after sunset. I work at a beach resort in Spain. A British man came to me at noon and said, "It's 32 degrees. That's dangerous. Shouldn't you close the beach?" I told him people come to Spain for the heat. He said, "But 32 degrees is extreme. In England, that would be a national emergency. We'd have warnings on the telly." I explained that 32 degrees is normal summer weather here. His wife said, "We can't possibly go outside in this. Don't you have air-conditioned beach areas?" I told her the beach is outdoors. She said, "You should install cooling systems or misting fans." How do locals cope? They stayed in their room until evening and left a review saying Spanish summer was unbearable and dangerous. I was a tour guide in Egypt. A British woman collapsed after being outside for 20 minutes. It was 38 degrees. When I helped her to shade, she said, "This heat should be illegal. How can you expect tourists to walk around in this?" I offered her water and explained the importance of hydration. She said, "Water isn't enough. This is inhumane. In Britain, we'd never allow conditions like this." Her husband said, "We should sue. You brought us out here knowing it was this hot." I explained that Egypt is hot and it was stated in all the tour information. They demanded to be taken back to the hotel immediately and spent the rest of the trip indoors, complaining that Egyptian heat was a tourist trap. I work at a pharmacy in Portugal. A British couple came in, both bright red and peeling. The man said, "We need something for sun poison." I asked if they'd use sun cream. He said, "We put some on this morning. That should be enough, right?" I told him you need to reapply every 2 hours, especially in strong sun. His wife said, "But we're only here for a week. We didn't think we'd need that much. In England, one application lasts all day." I gave them after sun lotion and explained proper sun protection. She said, "This is too much effort. Why is Portuguese sun so aggressive?" They blamed the sun for their burns rather than their own negligence. I was working at a restaurant in Italy. A British family came in for lunch. The father said, "Do you have air conditioning? It's boiling outside." I told him we have fans and open windows. He said, "That's not good enough. It's 30 degrees. You need proper air conditioning." His wife said, "In England, any building would have air conditioning at this temperature." I explained that Italians are accustomed to the heat and many traditional restaurants don't have AC. He said, "That's backward. How do you expect tourists to eat in these conditions?" They sat down reluctantly, complained about the heat throughout their meal, and left saying Italian restaurants needed to modernize. It was a pleasant spring day by Italian standards. I work at a tourist office in Morocco. A British woman came in and said, "We need to change our tour. It's too hot to be outside." I asked what temperature she was expecting. She said maybe 25 degrees, like a nice summer day. I told her Morocco in summer reaches 45 degrees. She looked horrified and said, "That's not tourism friendly. Why would anyone come here?" I explained that many people enjoy the heat. Her husband said, "This is false advertising. Your brochures show people outside having fun. They don't show them melting." They cancelled all their outdoor activities and spent the week in their hotel room, occasionally venturing out at dawn. I was a driver in Dubai. A British couple hired me for the day. After one outdoor stop, they got back in the car and the man said, "It's like an oven out there. Is it always this hot?" I told him yes. Dubai is in the desert. He said, "But people live here. How do they survive?" I explained that locals and long-term residents adapt and avoid midday sun. His wife said, "We've been here 2 hours and we're already exhausted. In England, heat like this would shut down the entire country." He kept the AC on full blast and refused to leave the car for the rest of the tour. They saw Dubai entirely through tinted windows. I work at a water park in Turkey. A British family arrived and within 30 minutes, the mother came to complain. She said, "There's no shade by the pools. We're burning alive." I showed her several shaded areas with umbrellas and cabanas. She said, "That's not enough. The whole park should be covered. This is dangerous for children." Her husband said, "In England, outdoor pools have plenty of shade. This is negligent." I explained that most guests enjoy the sun. She said, "That's insane. No one should be out in this heat." They left after an hour and demanded a refund, saying Turkish summers were unsuitable for British tourists. I was working at a hiking tour company in Malta. A British couple booked a coastal walk. 10 minutes in, they stopped and said they needed to go back. The man said, "You didn't tell us it would be this hot." I reminded him that I'd specifically warned about the heat and told him to bring water and hats. He said, "Yeah, but we didn't think you meant this hot. This is extreme." His wife said, "We do hiking in England all the time. It's never like this. Why is Malta so much hotter?" I explained that Malta is in the Mediterranean. She said, "You should only offer these tours in winter. Summer hiking is irresponsible." Relatable. They turned back and left a review warning others about dangerous heat levels. I work at a vineyard in South Africa. A British man on a wine tour kept asking to go inside. He said, "How long do we have to be outside?" "It's 34 degrees. I told him the tour includes walking through the vineyard. He said, "Can't we just skip that and go straight to the tasting room?" We're not used to this heat. His wife fanned herself dramatically and said, "I feel faint. In England, a heat wave is 25 degrees. This is unbearable." I offered them water and shade breaks. She said, "That's not the point. You shouldn't conduct outdoor tours in these temperatures." They rushed through the vineyard portion and spent the rest of the time inside, telling everyone that South African summer was dangerous. I was a lifeguard at a pool in Thailand. A British woman came up to me and said, "Is the water heated?" I told her it's an outdoor pool, naturally warmed by the sun. She said, "It's too warm. It's like bath water. Don't you cool it down?" I explained that in tropical climates, pools are naturally warm. She said, "That's disgusting. Pool water should be refreshing, not hot. In England, pools are properly temperature controlled." Her husband said, "We can't swim in this. It's uncomfortable." They sat by the pool complaining that Thai pools were too warm while everyone else enjoyed swimming. She kept dipping her hand in and making faces, insisting something was wrong with the water. I work at a safari lodge in Botswana. A British couple arrived in October, the hot season. The man said, "We didn't realise it would be this hot. Can we reschedule our safari for winter?" I told him they'd booked and paid for their stay. He said, "But we can't possibly go out in this heat. It's 42 degrees. We'll die." I explained that game drives happen early morning and late afternoon to avoid peak heat. His wife said, "Even the mornings are hot. England doesn't get this hot even at midday." I gave them cooling towels and explained heat management. They went on one game drive, complained the entire time, and spent the rest of their trip in their air-conditioned room, watching wildlife documentaries instead. I was working at a market in Bali. A British woman was shopping and after 5 minutes said, "I need to sit down. This heat is making me ill." I offered her a seat and water. She said, "How do people shop in this? It's 33 degrees. I told her locals are accustomed to it. She said, "Well, I'm not. You should have air-conditioned markets for tourists." Her husband said, "In England, any indoor space would have climate control. This is just a big open market with no cooling. How is this legal?" I explained it's an outdoor traditional market. She said, "Traditional doesn't mean it has to be uncomfortable." They bought nothing and left after 10 minutes, saying Balinese market, impossible for Western tourists. I work at an amusement park in Florida. A British family visited in July. The father came to guest services and said, "We need refunds. It's too hot to stay." I told him July in Florida is always hot and humid. He said, "Your website didn't warn us properly. This is unacceptable." His wife said, "We're from England. We can't function in this humidity. We're dripping with sweat just standing here." I offered them cooling stations and indoor attractions. He said, "That's not enough. The whole park should be climate controlled, or you shouldn't operate in summer." They left after 2 hours, saying Florida summers were a scam designed to torture British tourists. I was a hotel manager in Tunisia. A British guest called reception at 2 a.m. and said, "We can't sleep. It's still hot. Even with the air conditioning on full, it's uncomfortable." I offered to check their AC unit. He said, "No, the AC works. It's just that even cooled air is warm here. In England, nighttime is cool. This is oppressive." His wife got on the phone and said, "We need a different room, maybe one that's naturally cooler." I explained all rooms were the same temperature. She said, "Well, we can't stay here. This heat is ruining our holiday." They checked out 2 days early and told everyone that Tunisian summers were uninhabitable. It was 28 degrees at night. If you've enjoyed British people melting in normal weather, give it a like and subscribe for more. Cheers.